I have a question about your community.
Okay.
Do you fear that your community, as you improve your social media outreach, will grow to the point of uselessness, like sort of what happened with Wall Street Bets? It got too big to actually provide any value?
No, I think we keep our community the right size. I think people come and go. I don't focus too much on social media. So I try to sort of keep that under control. I think there was a point in my life where I wanted to be controversial for whatever reason. I think I'm sort of past that. Certainly, I'm not going to back down from any one person or any government or anything like that. That'll never change. But I think the need to lash out at people or something like that is probably past. I mean, ultimately, it was a unique time when people were sort of just hearing about me for the first time ever, and they had this reaction. And if somebody like, say, Steve Colbert or somebody had some words about me, I certainly would retaliate in kind. I think that sort of moment has passed. That is not that important to me anymore. The Martin Shkreli, who's 39 years old, for 36 of those 39 years has focused on achievement and success and learning more things and growing intellectually. The Martin Shkreli of 2015 that picked a fight with the whole world, that person, I couldn't return to that person even if I wanted to, because that was a unique time where people were picking a fight with me, and now people are not picking a fight anymore. And I don't think I'll ever be in a position where I'm going to be fighting with people about medicine prices on front page news. It doesn't mean that I won't be in the news. It doesn't mean that I won't be a voice. Doesn't mean that I won't be interesting. But I think this idea of it's me against the world. Look at Eminem, right? When Eminem had his first couple of albums that were really controversial, it was him against the world. People wanted him canceled. People wanted him deleted, et cetera, et cetera. Can he ever go back to that? Can he ever say something that offensive again? No, because we kind of know who Eminem is now. He's a controversial rapper who likes to talk about controversial things. Now people like him, and they like him for even saying controversial things. And it's hard for him to offend anybody, and he's rapped about that as well. So I think that you can't put the lightning back in the bottle, and I'm couching it as sort of a good thing. For a lot of what I went through, most people would say was so painful that you wouldn't want to go through it regardless. But the positive part of what I went through, sort of taking on the world for what I believe in, even if a lot of people don't believe in it with me, I'm not sure I'm going to have that opportunity again. And you certainly don't want to go through life trying to artificially create that opportunity. You shouldn't, that opportunity was thrust on me where everybody started to criticize me, and I reacted the way I reacted, sort of defiantly. I think it was much better than reacting in a sort of turtle-like way. I think most people would have liked it if I was a turtle instead, but I really didn't enjoy the media tried to do, and I really wanted to stick up for myself. If the situation ever were to occur again, I think you can predict that, I'd be defiant and I would stick up for myself. I mean, that's what I do. But I don't see anybody trying to come at me or be aggressive against me, and I think that's for the better. I'd like it better that way anyway.
Martin, can you you don't have to speak on this, but can you speak to how it felt getting out, that high after being away for a while?
I wouldn't say it was a high. It was. I wouldn't even say it was enjoyable. You have to understand, people, just like animals, changes in their environment are difficult to get used to. When you do animal experiments, you have an acclimatization period where you have to rehome the animal for days at a time before you can start the experiment. And I think that humans are no different. And so leaving prison was not some awesome experience. I think a lot of people think of it in the movies and things like that, where you step out and you're like, oh man, this is great. It's scary. You were used to living life a certain way for a while. And then the other thing is, when you leave prison, you have this whole halfway house experience, which is unpleasant and a new way of living life, and you adjust to that. And then you leave the halfway house and you're on house arrest. Then you got to adjust to that. So it's really this sort of gauntlet of change that you would think externally is this really great thing, but in reality is kind of a difficult experience. So anyway, I'm going to end the Instagram now. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. If you want to keep watching, jump on YouTube or jump into Discord. I'm going to keep the conversation going there, but this is the end of the presentation. Thank you so much. All right.
Hey, Martin, I have a question.
Hold on half a second. I'm just going to stop the recording.
You good?
All right, 1 hour, 17 minutes. We're done. Time to smoke some crack. Whew. Say, what was the question?
All right, yeah, it's me, Tom. I was part of your Discord, back when, like 2015. And you used the word opportunity a lot. And it's clear that I've seen you grow from there. In terms of like, to back my point, you used the word opportunity in terms of like, the world was against you rather than, I'm not really sure how to phrase this, but do you regret the kind of stance you took against the media? Would you have done anything different?
No, I mean, I think that the media is one of the most corrosive elements of our society. I think that there's like just a disgusting, sort of for-profit corporate media that needs serious change. Should I be the one that brings about that change? No, I didn't pick a fight with media. They picked a fight with me. So for me to react in kind, I think was perfectly appropriate. I think a lot of people were really, in media, were really upset and shocked that I would dare to sort of, feel that, I could challenge media and challenge the reporters directly that sort of tried to interact with me. I don't know. I think that more and more people can personally challenge the reporters and the so-called journalists that try to assassinate their character. Look at Taylor Lorenz, who's, I think, an example of one of the more corrosive sort of people out there. She sort of baits people to try to sort of cancel them or criticize them or any of that. And I think it's terrible. Have I ever been? Hold on. I'm just answering a YouTube question real quick. Have you ever been hospitalized by any mental need, anxiety, or something else? No. My first panic attack, I was 14, and I went to the ER because I thought that my chest was, my heart was going to explode. So I went to the ER, and the doctor took my blood pressure, listened to my heart, and he said, "Nothing's wrong with you," and I left. I still remember that day, because our family friend, who's also named Martin, his name's Marty Katz. Marty actually taught me the stock market, interestingly. We used to play chess. He's an old man that lived in our building on Ocean Avenue. And he was your sort of stereotypical old Jewish guy. I think Bernie Sanders or Larry David. And when I was probably starting around 8 years old, I mean, Marty knew me when I was born. But starting from like 8 years old, I'd play chess with Marty, who was an okay chess player, and then he would tell me about stocks, and he would tell me about all the pharmaceutical stocks, and my imagination as a kid just went wild with Microsoft, and he would say Genentech instead of Genentech, but nevertheless, all the biotech and pharma stocks, and I look back and thank Marty a lot for both being a good family friend. He used to drive us around a lot, sometimes drove me to school, and then also teaching me the stock market and being sort of a good friend.